Hey folks, it's Jared Mannanen from the website TahoeTrailGuide.com. Well, it's wet and sloppy, but another day on skis here at the beginning of the season. I'm very fortunate to live where I do, which is to say I live near a lot of open space. And literally today, I skied from my front door. Is this the finest skiing that I'll ever do this season? Most definitely not, but it's skiing nonetheless, and it's training, right? So one of the principles that I've embraced over my, I guess this will be my 7th year of cross-country skiing this season, is to embrace the idea of frequency over duration when it comes to training and just getting better at a thing. Rather than trying to be the weekend warrior and go bang out like 8 hours of skiing on Saturday and Sunday, I try to get in a half hour or upwards of 5 hours, depending on how great the conditions are, of skiing when the opportunity is available. Because the 2014-2015 was the end of I believe it was 4 or 5 winter droughts here at Lake Tahoe. Based on those drought years, I feel compelled to get out when there's snow, because I'm worried that this might be the only snow of the season. So if I don't get it now, I'm not getting any at all. I know that's not going to be the case, or it's probably not going to be the case this year, but it's still, I have that feeling. If I am only able to get out for like 30 minutes, for example, I'll just pick some type of a drill or some type of an exercise or activity, essentially a goal to do during that short amount of time. And I can make pretty good use of that time too. And, you know, I may just be following a set of coyote tracks to see if I can find out where their little hiding place is. Although I don't do that too often. On occasion I will though, just to see where they go and see where they like to go. But mostly it's focused on technique or making a certain distance. On my work break at the cross-country ski resort, I get a 30-minute lunch, so I usually go do like a 5K, and it's not a exceptionally fast pace, but it's fast enough that I definitely get a workout in and can get my heart rate up. So yeah, it's pretty fun stuff. Or maybe I'll just go try to find some sort of terrain feature in the allotted amount of time that I have to ski, and you know, call it a day. There's a certain type of longevity that I think is inherent with approaching frequency over duration when trying to get better at something. You're training for the long haul, you're training to be doing this for a long period of time, and hopefully training to make it a habit in your life rather than something that you do just when you have the spare time or the money to do it or whatever. So I like that when I decide I'm only going to go out for an hour or a mile or a day or whatever, you know, whatever that time period is, I don't have to feel guilty about coming home early or anything like that. I said I was going to go ski for an hour. That's what I skied. I met my goal, and I can move on with the day. I hate having just this huge block of time open, because I feel guilty for not filling it all up. But I'm not a young guy anymore, so I kind of understand that even if you set aside 8 hours to do something, for example, you're only actually doing the thing for a fraction of that time. It may be a larger fraction than some people, but it's still not going to be 8 straight hours of doing the same thing over and over. And even if you did do it for that long, there's a good chance that you're going to wind up with the diminishing returns where everything's starting to come undone, but you're so determined to get to that end point of 8 hours or whatever, and you start to let things go and really begin to develop bad habits at that point. So, you know, when you give yourself a shorter amount of time to accomplish a thing, it seems to really focus you into doing that thing to the best of your ability. So what was my goal for the day other than making this short video? Well, the standing order whenever I'm on cross-country skis is to become a better cross-country skier, of course. But specifically what I've been working on for much of last year, and I'll be continuing to work on this year, is that full commitment of all my body weight onto one ski at a time. And for me, that means having my legs lined up properly. I have, and many people have the tendency to do, is to collapse inward with their knees. I'm not going to demonstrate it now because I don't want to get into it here, but basically the idea is that people cheat the inside edge of their skis often because it's much easier to fall onto your other leg than to commit fully to a flat ski, being upright and aligned, and possibly catching an outside edge if you commit a little bit too much. So that's just like a minor detail that I've been working on. But I also wanted to go down to the river to see what the water level looked like. And then there's one last thing that I'm gonna go look for, and I will show you in just a sec. So there's a pileated woodpecker that roams this area near my home, and I've seen him a couple times. I managed to get a couple of decent shots of them, but I totally love pileated woodpeckers, so a lot of times I like to come check out this particular aspect of the forest to see if by chance I will see him again. If you have any interest whatsoever in pileated woodpeckers, you should check out my other video. I'll post a link above. Just because I do have some good footage. I found a family of 4 this summer, and that was quite spectacular to see them. I got some good video footage of the mother and daughter pecking at a tree together. But yeah, frequency over duration, that's kind of a thing that I've really grown fond of over the last few years. You know, I never really had this grand plan to be some sort of outdoors guy, although I've always loved the outdoors, but I just never thought it was possible to make it an actual lifestyle where you can work in the industry, play in the industry, all that stuff. So I'm very grateful for this life that has manifested, and I hope that you guys have found some sort of lifestyle and careers that you enjoy as well. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. post any feedback or questions in the comment section below. Check out my website, tahoetrailguide.com, and please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you guys be part of this crew. And at some point, I promise, I am going to make some cross-country ski vlogs that are not filled with rainy, snowy, sloppy days. So take care, everyone.